YouTube is stuffed with the preternatural. There's no doubt that it's the most popular topic among the curious. If you're into the strange, you've likely become familiarized with the array of cryptids, hauntings, vanishings, and other mysteries that have been cycled around in one form or another, whether insightfully or ineptly. The cud has been chewed over and over. Those stories of high strangeness are passed on with relish. Nothing elicits clamor like photographic records of things out of the ordinary. You likely know these. In most of these cases, the subjects in question are disturbing and ominous portents of a world beyond. Fear accompanies the images, more so than awe. And these are doubtless the tip of the iceberg, as far as photographic evidence is concerned, because a lot of it is sitting in books, photo albums, film cans, archives, shoeboxes, or hard drives. To say nothing of mountains of photos kept by governments. The private owners of these photos have kept them secret out of fear, or lack of desire for instant fame through bringing one of these to light. There are people who, when given a glimpse of something supernatural, only think to share it with friends and family because it just doesn't occur to break it to the world. They don't need to. This brings me to the whole reason for this video. A few years ago, a friend of mine was on the mailing list for a ministry in Camden, New Jersey. One day, he received this email. John suggested that we take the first full week in May, thank you honey, and go down to his sister's to rest. Many of you know that during our time there we slept for at least 11 to 12 hours every day. We were supposed to return home on Saturday, but found out that our youngest son, his wife, and our granddaughter were going to come up to New Jersey late on Friday night. So we returned home roughly around 7 p.m., and landed in our double recliner upstairs. It was raining lightly, and the draping that we have on the cross on the lot next door was on the ground when we arrived home, so I brought it into the house. A little before 8 p.m., I noticed something on the security camera monitor that we have upstairs in our bedroom. At first, John thought that something had just blown onto the camera lens, which is outside, but when I looked closer, it was the most incredible thing I have ever seen. A mighty warrior was completely covering the cross right next to our ministry home. It was the most unbelievable thing that I have ever seen. I watched this out of the bedroom window and out the hallway window, as well as on the camera for at least 15 minutes or so. I'm not really sure. Knowing that if I told this story no one would believe it, I took my phone and captured this photograph of the camera view outside. God was powerfully and personally reminding me that this battle belongs to Him and that He is in control. And though there will be casualties, to stand strong, be courageous, and to understand that He is the one that fights for us. When you look at the photograph, please notice the telephone pole, which is completely on fire in the picture. It is overwhelming. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that telephone pole when you look at it today. I did not see that the telephone pole was engulfed in flames until I looked at the photo later. I was so fixated on the cross. Very often, paranormal photographs carry with them fear and darkness, but here there is light, brilliantly so, and a feeling of cosmic drama. This image, whatever it is, conveys triumph and, for those who saw the event firsthand, hope as well. So, what are we seeing? When I first saw this photo, my impression was of a distorted glare caused by water on a camera lens. The water could be reflecting the burning telephone pole. That aspect is clearly illuminating the building behind it, as well as the street, wet from rain, and the edges of the frame do have water droplets visible. So it was a natural first conclusion to jump to. However, the angel on the left is not restrained to those areas where water is. It is a shape made of light, and those who witnessed it were not just seeing it through the monitor, but were verifying it through the window as well. Why she took a photo of the monitor and not the view through the window seems odd and even unfortunate, but is understandable. If I were in the same position, pulling out my phone to directly take a picture of a heavenly being would feel almost obscene, and removing myself behind the barrier of a video screen would have a level of comfort, even safety, to not be seen. I also want to talk about the telephone pole, which is where the drama I mentioned earlier comes into play. It looks to be in flames, engulfed in sparks, or some other form of energy. According to the original account, the telephone pole had no damage left on it afterwards. Therefore, this explosion of light or fire is not just on the pole, but seems to be being burned out of it. As mentioned, a cross stands between the angel and the telephone pole. What this appears to be is a spiritual confrontation. Perhaps David Lynch was right about evil traveling via electricity. And it's hard to think of many other places more full of darkness and fear than Camden, New Jersey. So, if this analysis isn't convincing, I understand. There is enough room to be skeptical, but there's more than enough for me to believe it's genuine. Not that I need these sorts of photos to believe. It's a welcome antidote to the parade of the macabre which is found in paranormal evidence, and I hope others might see that as well. Though, what do you think?